Hall of Famer Warren Moon with us for a couple of minutes. Okay, here in Arizona, Kyler Murray burst on the scene last year. I thought under a lot of duress, a lot of injuries in front of him, was able to do a remarkable job. What did you make out of Kyler Murray in year one? What's his ceiling in your view?
Yeah, he's a tremendous young player, and it didn't surprise me that he came in and had success, only because he was familiar with that offense coming in there a little bit from college. And I think they incorporated a lot of things, which was very, very smart of Cliff Kingsbury to incorporate things that he had success with at Oklahoma. So that didn't make his learning curve that great. And then when you have a Larry Fitzgerald out there who's kind of a comfort zone for you out there as your slot receiver, he's going to do the right thing all the time and make plays for you. And then they had some other talent on that team. So Kyler is a guy that his ceiling is unbelievable because he's only going to continue to get better. He was Rookie of the Year last year. He had a solid season. Started out slow, but he got better as the year went on. That's what you want to see a young guy do. You want to see him get better as the year went along, and he did that. And now he's got a lot to look at as far as what he did right, what he did wrong last year, and how he can build off of that in that second year. And they've put some more talent around him this year, having the other players they've added to their roster.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins coming in. We're really interested to see how that works out for him down here. I guess I look at him and I didn't realize how short in stature he was. People made such a big deal out of that. It didn't feel like it really impacted him last year, not being that guy that's the 6'2", 6'3" quarterback.
Well, it does impact a smaller guy. And, I've been around Russell Wilson most of his career up in Seattle. And I know there are times, a lot of times in games where there's sometimes he just can't see. He just can't see things that are happening, especially over the middle of the football, because that's where that rush tends to come in your face. And if you notice, a lot of Russell's throws are outside of the hash marks and even outside of the numbers. A lot of those throws are out there because he has better vision out there. And I'm sure it's the same for Kyler. There were probably times where he's sitting in the pocket and he just can't see a receiver that might be open over the middle because of the height difference, and he has to move around and make something happen. But fortunately, he has that ability to move around and make something happen like a Russell Wilson, and he can make some plays. But there are times when he's not going to be able to make those plays, and he'll take a sack that's not necessarily the offensive line's fault. And you saw a lot of that this year as well. Sometimes those sacks weren't on the offensive line, just like Russell Wilson takes a lot of sacks that weren't on the offensive line because he just can't see, and he's trying to make something happen, and the defense breaks down. So there are some disadvantages to being that height, but then there's some advantages as far as when you can move around the way those guys can and put the pressure on the defense.